Barbecue with the beer truck.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Welcome back to our special series of Barbecuing with the Beer Truck. My name is Ethan Gregory. Joined alongside me is the one and only beer truck himself, Owen Schmitt. And Owen, people may not know that you're a professional chef. We're going to get into this here. Being here, telling here about your favorite West Virginia football podcast, In the Gun podcast. And week 2, I believe we have the Ohio University Bobcats in Athens. What are we going to get these West Virginia football fans ready for this game with?
Right now we're going to do a St. Louis style rib, right? We got a rack of ribs here. You can pick a rack of ribs up from any local grocery store. This was actually from Food Line right there in Beckley. So
that's sweet.
Let's get them going. They're pretty simple, and we'll tear into this thing and we'll knock it out.
Ready to get these bad boys on the smoker for sure. What are some of the differences between maybe a spare rib or a baby back rib?
So a baby back rib is going to be more of the loin on that rib, so it's going to be a fatter, meatier rib, right? And the St. Louis cut's going to be more of your, the portion away from the loin, so you're going to have like a nice even, kind of what everyone, I guess when you look at a rib on pictures online, that's kind of what everybody pictures is, right? We got some nice intermuscular marbling on this rib. You can tell the striations in the meat here, and we'll be better off to see it once we unravel this package here.
Let's do it.
But let's take it apart here. So, of course, a sharp knife is always helpful when you are cutting open a package. Alright. I try not to make a huge mess, right? So I try to make sure that, you can keep that in. We'll throw that in the trash right here.
Perfect.
Yeah, gets, all the good juices out of here. This is a white kitchen, so I don't want to completely be dead after this once the old lady sees me here. We'll actually put this on a tray too, so that we can keep this thing fairly. So, most ribs, anytime I'm doing ribs, unless I'm doing them in large quantities, I'm always going to take this layer of skin off back here. It's like a silver skin.
Right. Very chewy and doesn't really...
Yeah, it doesn't really render out in the cook, but I just kind of scored it there originally, and I'll just grab it and I'll just pull it here. It comes off fairly easy.
Now, what are some of the steps that people miss when making a good rack of ribs? Is there something like maybe a small detail that people leave out?
Barbecue, it's all a matter of preference, but when it comes to like ribs, I like to make sure that you get a good seasoning all the way around the rib. Trim up like some of the smaller bits, which you'll see me here in a second once I get this removed. And I'll just shape the ribs up a little bit more. I might trim a little bit some of this fat and stuff off of here as well, and we'll just kind of clean the rib up. That's about the only thing. I mean, it's really hard. And then just make sure they're done. Everybody's opinion on the doneness of ribs is, this isn't a competition rib. This is, we're doing a tailgate rib, right? So, if it's not completely...
It'll work. Get
bite
the job
through. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I know exactly
Don't
what
be
you
worried
mean.
about it too much. It's just cooking, man. Make sure you season it up real good. And like I said, here's some of the trimming bits. So I'm going to end up taking this off, right? Because this is most likely just going to burn in the cook anyways.
Now, are we going to keep that, or does that just get tossed?
Absolutely. I'm going to keep all this stuff.
Looks great.
Yeah, and this will be good. I mean, something like this, usually, during a cook, if I'm like doing a cook by myself, or even like a cook I do like for the tailgates, I'll even trim this little skirt piece up right here. and I might throw that on the smoker for 20 minutes, and I
Have
might
some
just
little
cook it
riblets.
up. Yeah, and just have some
Perfect.
little nuggets of flavor, you know, throughout the cook, just so I'm not, you know, working the whole time. Plus, I like to try it, you know. And right now, all I'm doing here is I'm just kind of feeling where that last rib is. It's about a half, you know.
And then you're gonna
right
cut
there.
that excess off, I
Yep.
would assume.
Yep, and
Yeah,
I'm just
right
gonna
on.
come here, I'm just gonna cut it right off and square this rib up right real nice. Right, and then up top here we got this little meaty part here. I'll probably end up kind of just, you know, taking this off just a hair.
Yeah, I can see like the fat cap a little bit
Yeah.
underneath that.
Yep, just kind of trimming it up just a little bit. Now that fat will render throughout the cook, you know what I mean? But it's not too bad, but you know, hey, you can spend as much time as you want or as little time as you want trimming the meat up. Just remember that's the final product that you're gonna get, and I'll square my corners up here just a little bit. And hey, that's pretty much it as far as prepping a rib.
Simple.
Yeah.
All right, so the next step, I assume we're gonna get some. We do a dry rub on them. I would assume so, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. Actually,
Or do you put mustard on yours as well?
I do not do it binder. As you can see, the rib itself is pretty tacky. Now, most people they'll bat that down. I don't really see the big difference. You know, that is my binder. You could dry this, pat this off, and spritz. You know, I've seen people spritz some water on them. I've seen them do the mustard. I've seen mayo. I've seen all sorts of things. Italian dressing. It's all over there.
Italian dressing, that would be a wild play for a rack of ribs.
It would, and it's actually pretty tasty. So.
We got the same dry rub as the pickled onions from last week.
Yep, this is my go-to. This is going to be my base for basically every piece of protein I do. Salt, pepper, garlic. I feel like that just kind of naturally brings out
The meaty flavor.
Yep,
of
the
meat.
flavor of the meat really enhances the flavor of the meat.
If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed on YouTube to In the Gun and to ITG Clips. That's the best way to catch all our newest Mountaineer content hot off the press. And how about a quick shout out to J.R. Toothman and friends at Toothman Ford. If you're in the market for a great ride, new or used, here's your chance to get one while helping out a great local business. We all know that cars cost less in Grafton. Plus, let's give some love to Fortis and our good buddy Rick Lewis. For roof performance and financial certainty guaranteed, be sure to visit fortis.us.com. And of course, let's give a tip of the cap to Tim Johnston and his awesome crew at Johnston Equipment off exit 99 between Weston and Buchanan. You can also check them out online at JohnstonEQ.com. That's Johnston with a T, EQ.com.
Now with the rib, you'll see here down the stretch, I will do a mop or like a slather towards the end to finish the rib off to make it kind of like a little sticky. But right now we'll just go in here. This is my presentation side, so I'll do the back side first, and we'll knock this out.
Now, and you played pro football in Seattle and Philly. I mean, there's not a lot of barbecue in either of those places.
No, it's not.
So where in the world, do you remember like a specific restaurant from either city that has they have really good barbecue? I'd go back there.
Kansas City was probably the first time I really got to enjoy, you know, what everybody would say, the burnt end capital of the world, right?
You enjoyed being in Kansas City.
Yeah, you know, and learned a lot about it, and then just, you know, we went to Houston and to Dallas, and that's kind of where I snuck away. And usually, like when you fly places, they'll give you per diem, right? So we'll fly there, we'll get a little bit of per diem, we'll be able to go and enjoy you know, dinner somewhere. So my thing was, anytime we went to St. Louis or you know, Texas, you know, it was definitely trying to hit up a local barbecue spot to check it out. And that's it, man. That's all it really is. It seems like it was a lot of seasoning on there, but honestly, this rack of ribs can take a pretty decent amount of seasoning. So we'll go outside and we'll throw this on the smoker.
Let's go do it.
Right now we're gonna load this rack of ribs on. We're running about 250 on the smoker right now. Just do a quick hand check. We got some heat rolling through here, so we'll pop it open and we'll put them next to our other buddies. So we're just gonna throw this rack down and
Now Now, is there a certain way that you want to put it on the rack?
I don't think it's
horizontal, vertical. Is there a certain way?
Yeah, I'll put it more like this. But what I do like to do is kind of just, you see how I'm kind of just chubbying it up here?
Right.
Just kind of poking it up. That'll just put the, make sure that meat gets kind of jumbled up together. It gives me a good shape. I'll just make sure and maybe check the edges or something, right? Because it's all convection inside of there, so.
You can tell since the last time we checked these, they've even gotten darker.
Yeah, you can really tell the bark's starting to set in. You can see the moisture kind of getting drawn out. And just, you know, really check out that nice texture that these ribs got on them.
Yeah, not a lot of things can beat those.
Yeah. All right.
So we'll go straight onto the tin foil after we put this sauce pour on.
Yeah, we're gonna just give a nice little drippy here, a little moppy. And then once we'll close the smoker down.
Okay.
And then we'll let this kind of set for a second.
Let it get sticky there.
Yep, we'll let it get real sticky and kind of caramelize a little bit. And you can tell, I mean, these look beautiful already.
I'm just standing over here salivating, watching that as it pours.
All right.
Straight back in.
Ooh. A little hot there. All right. Yeah, I'm really excited for these. We'll make them real nice and tight here. I'm gonna put them top side down, right, to finish.
Okay.
We'll lay them back on there, and we good to roll. All right, we just got these fresh off the smoker. We're back inside. We're gonna do a little unveiling here. These are beautiful. Great color on these ribs.
And we let these go for how long again?
About 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the money shot right there. And we'll just sneak them off here. We'll dress them up even more with a little bit of this.
Wow.
The goodness.
Nice and sticky too from that sauce that we had on there.
Yep.
And the brown sugar really just molds everything together. The
Yep.
caramelization for sure.
Yeah, it really caramelizes them up. They look great. They're nice and smoky. You can smell it. They got some good caramelization on the corners. We got some good pullback on the ribs.
Now, when you cut, do you do 2 at once or do you do 1?
You know what? It really depends on what you want to do. You want to eat 2 or you want to eat 1?
Let's do 1 right now, just for the. Actually, yeah, you do you. Hey,
I'm gonna do 1.
It's your recipe.
Hey, I'm gonna do 1. I mean, that's just how I do it.
Wow, it's sliced through like butter. Wow, I can already tell.
Yeah, they're splitting apart. I mean, these are going to be pretty nice. We could have let them rest a little bit longer. Like I was saying, you want them to rest.
What are we thinking?
They're done.
They're done.
They're done. They might not be true fall off the bone ribs, but you'll have a good bite. A lot of flavor. Good smoky flavor. Let's give them a try.
I mean, it's like you're in the blue lot at 12, and then there's a game at 7. These ribs are perfect. I mean,
these are great for a
they're like 4 or 5 hours,
yep.
and you're ready to go right before game time. Let's dive right in. I'm extremely eager to try. One of these here. You haven't made something I don't like yet.
Good
these
bite.
are
nice and juicy. Good pepper from the rub. The sauce, I kind of like a wet rib. So the sauce kind of just finishes them out, but I mean, ain't no better than that right there.
No, not at all. Hey, folks, you saw it again. It's simple. I mean, you just you go to Sam's Club, go to wherever your local grocer, butcher, whatever. Grab you some St. Louis ribs, doctor them up with some salt, pepper, garlic, throw them in the smoker, lather them with sauce, bring them out, and you know that's Owen's recipe right there. Short, simple, and great for game day. Thank you for watching episode 2 of Barbecuing with the Beer Truck. Those ribs were awesome. Hopefully they're as good as what our weekend will be in Athens. But by the way, I heard something that Ohio University has sold more season tickets this year than they ever have before. Please be an ear and tell an ear about your favorite WVU football podcasts. And always remember,
I say is true. Anyone can cook. but only the fearless can be great.
Pure poetry.
Let's go Mountaineers and eat well.
This mission is over. It's over.